Hello, my name is Alice Monk, and in this presentation I will be critically evaluating whether it is possible or desirable to improve organisational performance using HR strategies. Ratton and Gold state that an organisation's performance is largely based on its human capital resources, hence attracting, stimulating and above all retaining well-performing qualified employees are important concerns for human resource officers, and as such this topic is clearly an important one. Performance in relation to an organisation is a measurement of its ability to be able to accomplish set business goals and targets within a specified time frame and continuously improve its performance. Organisational performance can affect the employee as a singular. However, it is important to acknowledge that it can also contribute to the collective performance of the company. Effective HR strategies is one way in which an organisation can improve its performance. According to the CIPD, such an approach provides a strategic framework to support long-term business goals and outcomes. The employees are suggested as being the main focus on improving performance when introducing HR strategies within an organisation. This is due to the fact that the aim of the HR strategy process is to manage people in a way that will assist in the achievement of the organisational objectives. There are numerous HR strategies that are frequently suggested to improve performance. These being talent management, learning and development, recruitment and selection, knowledge management strategy. However, I am going to focus on reward management, which I feel has the most relevance, that will, in accordance with Armstrong, help to retain, motivate and in turn help to develop a high performance culture, meeting the needs of the staff as well as the business. Of course, if you were to ask employees what was the most important element of their job, many would say pay. However, it is often more complicated than that. The reward management HR strategy focuses on three rewards: financial, psychological and material. Financial rewards relate to the employee's basic pay, possible bonuses and performance-related pay. Psychological rewards, such as recognition and interpersonal relationship development, are perceived as non-financial rewards. And finally, material rewards, which are not directly financial but do pose an indirect cost to the organisation in the form of training opportunities, medical insurance and welfare facilities. These three characteristics are identified within the elements of pay and benefits, and are the main components for reward management, contributing to the enhancement of organisational performance and productivity within the workplace. In order for the organisational performance to be improved, according to Helm, Holliday and Tortolea, effective reward systems should be linked with goal setting, training, communication and ongoing feedback. If all these points are taken into account when creating the specific HR strategy compatible with the operating environment, employees should be able to improve their own performance as well as the firm's. Implementing financial rewards within the form of performance-related pay encourages the employee to improve the performance. In order for the strategy to be effective, it is imperative that the employee knows what goals need to be accomplished and that feedback is given at regular intervals. According to Mochabat and Schuiber, explains, managers that do a good job of providing timely and relevant feedback for good performance will have that behaviour reinforced, which should help it to continue. This type of financial reward is a motivating factor for the employee and an incentive to increase productivity within the workplace. Of course, it's essential that HR department looks closely with other areas of the business such as production and finance, as it will be of no benefit to the firm if the cash incentives paid to an employee are greater than the benefit to the firm. Performance-related pay often works successfully within a sales environment and a manufacturing industry where productivity can be measured effectively. Good examples of this are a double glazing salesman or a worker on a production line in a car manufacturing plant. By rewarding employees for their important performance, this often gives the advantage to the employee of feeling a sense of value to the organisation and adds meaning to their role, which can encourage a strong work ethic to continue. With the individual's increased productivity, this also increases the firm's profitability. Despite this element of the strategy providing largely positive outcomes, it is also important to consider the shortcomings of performance-related pay. ACAS notes, employee goals may only be short-term with the focus purely on the reward to the detriment of overall performance and development. Whilst regular feedback is deemed as good, some employees are seen to be more reluctant to recognise their weaknesses in meetings in case their pay is affected. Take-home pay is obviously a massive importance for most employees, as it pays for the necessary things in life, like food, clothes, but equally cash is not the be-all and end-all for many employees. Psychological rewards combined with the overarching reward strategy can be argued to have more meaning to the employee than financial rewards. Of course, the great advantage here to the business is that psychological rewards don't cost. Many employers expect psychological rewards in return for their inputs. Recognition and interpersonal relationships are psychological benefits that provide the employee with the potential to improve performance for themselves as well as the organisation. It is essential that these elements of the reward strategy focus on the employee and the manager relationship, especially relating to the interpersonal aspect. If the relationship between the employee and the manager is strong, the employee feels more appreciated in the workplace, and this can lead to the increased level of commitment and satisfaction. A good relationship between the employee and their manager involves constant communication and regular feedback when necessary, and if this process is carried out effectively, then the employee will be more motivated and receptive to accomplish tasks and improve performance within the business. The interpersonal relationship can be considered closely linked with the recognition as reward. According to Hofstede, recognition of rewards done by the employees will make them work harder in the future. This can be conveyed to the employee through the good interpersonal relationship. Recognition strategy can help improve the organisation's profitability and reinforces behaviour from the employees to encourage them to achieve their objectives, which can result in them improving the overall performance of the organisation. Ideally, a good senior manager is always in touch with his team and therefore should be ensuring that they're getting along. Poor interpersonal relationships between team members and bosses can have a disastrous effect on the morale and therefore performance. Material benefits, like financial benefits, are tangible and may be particularly powerful for some more cynical employees that don't respond well to the less tangible psychological rewards. Material benefits have already acknowledged an indirect cost to the organisation due to the fact the employee does not gain any direct monetary reward. Instead, this strategy provides non-financial rewards. Training is a good example of a material benefit, as giving employees the opportunity to develop their human capital will enhance their skills, which will improve their quantity and quality of work and therefore benefit the performance of their business. As Herzberg's two-factor motivational theory states, without training, workers will not be able to fulfill their potential. These materials can improve the employee's job satisfaction and commitment to, and can help to attract and retain staff, improving general levels of workforce motivation across the business. It is important to note some material benefits in some organisations are not accessible to the employee until they have worked at an organisation for a certain period of time. This can help retain employees. Culture within an organisation is something that matures over time. Organisations aspire to develop a strong corporate culture which enables a better working environment where employees are able to develop and share their own values and beliefs. Taylor's motivational theory is one that initiated the origins of culture. His aim was to develop businesses to their highest state of excellence following the idea of organisational development. His idea was to motivate employees through money. For many, this was a great influencer to increase productivity in the workplace. However, as I've said, money is not always the primary motivating factor, and he overlooked other reasons such as psychological and material benefits, which are, as already mentioned, strategies in which organisational development can be improved within the workplace. Tesco's is a prime example of an organisation with the aim to using pay and benefits to motivate their employees within the workplace. Motivating employees through their own reward strategy will enable employees to increase their knowledge, skills and job satisfaction, all aspects contributing to the improvement of organisational performance. Tesco's use a number of different reward strategies, some of which have already been identified, such as recognition and training and development, as well as implementing new strategies such as flexible working, company share options and reduced health benefits. All combine examples of material and psychological benefits. An interesting point that Tesco make relating to recognition is the importance of trust and respect for their employees. As previously stated, feedback is essential in order to carry out the reward strategy effectively. In this organisation, it is devoted to receiving feedback from others. It is clear from the findings, Tesco's successful reward strategy is tailored with the main focus on the worker. This is then provides both a happy workforce and organisation with the aim of providing performance for the meantime. It seems to me that Tesco's is a positive example of using a range of pay and benefits to get the best out of their employees, whereas in the last 12 months or so it can be clear that the same could not be said for the banking industry, where it seems to me they have placed too much emphasis on the financial benefits. I think it would be bad practice for any organisation of a reasonable size not to have some form of considered HR strategy, but the key thing to remember is that people are complex human individuals with different personalities and needs that need to change over time due to their own personal circumstances. One of the most common theories outlining the relationship between reward and motivation is Vroom's expectancy theory. This theory suggests that employees tend to be motivated when they receive rewards in exchange for doing their jobs, provided these rewards are value. A one-size-fits-all strategy clearly won't work well, and any strategy that a business does implement needs to recognise the size, demographic and culture of its employee base.